So recap. Rennick, you said you got this.
Yeah, so last week we fought a big battle. Rennick was the commander, and Gomi was with us. We won. Before we got to celebrate our success, though, while enjoying our train ride, we had assassins bust in and kill Gomi. Gomi did actually pull through, but suffered some side effects. The fight was really long.
I mean, a very accurate description.
I was expecting more, but
Yeah, not a lot of detail, but it was not wrong at all. Anybody else want to add to or anything?
so we fought a big battle. It was my country, Eric's country of Mineria, fighting their semi-yearly. It's not consistent, but battle against the neighboring country when they start to run out of supplies. They decide to invade Mineria, and Mineria usually just tries to hold them off and give them some sustenance to keep them at bay or keep them complacent. So we won the battle. They did have some extra soldiers compared to what they normally would. It wasn't just the normal barbarians and berserkers. They had some wyverns and shit, which we ended up defeating and pushing them back. And we made sure that the supply arrangement was left for them. And then we boarded the train heading back to Redemptia. I don't know if it's the capital city. Is it the capital city? I know it's one of the main hubs.
Yeah, it's the capital city. So
Okay.
It's not the predominant industrial hub. It is one of, but it is the other one is basically the industrial center. There's two major cities.
Okay, so we boarded a train leaving the battlefield, heading back to Redemptia. And a couple assassins attacked us. Eric, knowing the regiments of the train, was able to detect the assassins, but they were still able to do some damage to Gomi and basically fuck her up. We were able to charm one, but then he was killed by the other assassin, and we were able to, I believe, capture the second assassin, but we are not we don't exactly have a plan on what we're going to do with him, since we know he's pretty indoctrinated.
Yeah, he did murder his homie.
And I think that's about what we left off.
Yeah, all correct. You did pick up the +1 poison swords. Or +1 swords that have the ability to have poison added to them. The ones you guys found were drained from the combat, though. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else. Does anybody have any questions? Gomi, did you recall or write down your situation?
Yeah, I wrote down the fact that I want to eat wood now because I almost died and went crazy.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so you guys are on the train car. You have the assassin unconscious.
Hey, would charm person work on him so that we could convince him to tell us things?
I'm not getting involved in this one. If you guys want to step in for Danfire, go ahead.
I already tried to charm the other. Well, I did charm the other one. So, I mean,
That's kind of what gave me the idea.
if I could charm him maybe at advantage because he's unconscious, or since we have him bound.
I actually don't think you can charm an unconscious person.
That might be a rule too, actually. Let me look. It mentions nothing of such. It just says the creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed.
I think we have to look up if sleep grants any
That's a fact, yeah.
resistances to stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking.
A condition or
It doesn't actually say no.
so well, I found a little thing pointing out that when you're asleep, you have the unconscious status effect,
Right.
And you are incapacitated, can't move, speak, or unaware of your surroundings. Automatically fail.
Which was
strength and dex.
more my argument. I was looking at unconscious as well. Which is more my argument as far as how can you be charmed if you're unconscious and unaware of something charming you.
Yeah, like you have no ability to process that.
Yeah, it's just like hitting a blank wall. It is more of my argument.
Yeah, like charming a rock.
Yeah, like you might be successful, but you won't even
but
know.
if it's like a drug, you can be drugged while you're unconscious, not realize you've been drugged, and then return to consciousness still drugged.
Well,
I don't know exactly how
What's the form of the spell? Is it a verbal?
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
it is verbal and somatic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
but you know
that
the
gets
argument.
The
The
fine
tree falling
print.
in the fucking woods argument.
I mean,
Well, and the fine print of the
so-
magic in your world.
just to play devil's advocate, it could be something like Scarlet Witch whispering into your ear too, of like, "Hello there." But no, I totally get it.
Yeah, I somewhat agree sort of with Okami's argument of it being somewhat like a drug.
Yeah.
And then I guess my follow-up argument is it's verbal, but it's the words that give it power, not the hearing of the words that give it power. From
Right.
the victim. So I don't see why it wouldn't work by all of our rules that we're playing by. So let's do it.
Okay, so we're trying it. And like I said, are we just rolling it normal, or is it an advantage, or?
I'm gonna say he auto fails.
He auto fails. Okay, so he's charmed. Okay, so I'm gonna essentially like whisper, or not even whisper, but like, wake up, wake up.
He seems groggy. What happened?
Well, you were somewhere you weren't supposed to be, and now we gotta ask you some questions.
What happened to Emil? He looks at his friend who's stabbed. Did I do that?
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of did.
He seems to be
Why
really
would
confused
you do
right now.
such a thing if he's your friend?
Uh, he was going to speak of us.
Speak of who?
He gave up. He's looking around frantically, like things aren't adding up in his brain. He can't come to odds with his current state.
Who is it
Speak
they
of-
was gonna speak of?
Our mission.
What was that?
Our mission.
You on a mission?
We were to kill you.
But why?
You took things from us.
We haven't taken anything.
That is all I know. I follow the orders.
From who?
Sorry, I'm not ignoring. I think the order came from Baines.
Who is this Baines guy? We've been hearing a lot about him. Is he your friend too?
I've never met. But he's a powerful person.
But you take orders from him. You take orders from a man you never met?
That is the way we do things. We communicate through magical means or secret message. Never face to face.
How does
It is
one
such
go?
way with all the higher ups.
How does one go about these messages, shall we say?
Uh, which ones?
The orders you get. You say you receiving them, but you've never met them. How are you getting these messages? And how do you know it's them?
We use codes, and we have dead drop locations.
Ah, very smart, very smart. From
Well, how are you expected to tell them you completed your mission then if you never communicate with them?
As you're talking to him, you see him bite down hard on something in his mouth and swallow quickly.
damn it, I was trying.
It's not important.
I'm gonna go up
So
to him
important.
And
fucking shake him.
you
be like,
see
"Where's the
foam
dead drop?"
start coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, I tried to get it before that, but okay. Yeah. Just shake him. Where's the
Sorry.
dead drop?
Say that again.
Where's the dead drop?
As he's dying, you hear the church.
Eric's
And
gonna
then
run
he
his-
coughs up some blood and passes out. Well, dies.
Eric's gonna let go of his collar, being slightly bigger than his whole head, and just shove him to the ground and be like, "We were trying to make him think we were friends."
But we've gained good information. At this point, nobody knows they failed their mission, and we can complete some sort of dread job for them. I bet you they still have some paperwork or something on them. Let's search them and see if there's any more information.
But we could have got more. And if it's a dead drop, somebody's gonna be watching the dead drop, and they're gonna know that we placed it.
Not necessarily. I mean, we have disguise abilities. If two of us go in looking like them, there shouldn't be too much there. The dead drops mean that you don't ever connect in the process. So as long as you just go drop off a message and then back off, there's a chance for us to use this to our advantage.
Somebody's always watching.
Okay, sorry. Have you guys thought of a plan?
I mean, obviously, we're going back to Redemptia either way. Because we're.
Right, yeah, you're gonna be there in a matter of hours, yeah. Do you wish to go to Urza's castle as you originally intended?
Eric would like to, at least.
Is anyone here good at disguises? I think it's worth a shot dropping off at the church. But we'd have to find something on the cultist first.
Shouldn't we figure out something to do with the bodies? Like, we can't just, like, drag these off the train.
This
I
is
mean-
this is a war train that's for Urza.
Yeah, I was gonna
So-
say, we don't really need to worry about that.
Okay.
So since we're
We-
just kicking the body off the train, yeah, I got no
Well,
problem.
not even that. I was gonna say, once we're at Urza, we can just be like, "Yeah, this is part of my plan."
Hey, we killed a
Leave
guy.
the bod- Leave the bodies.
I'm just not gonna tell any of the crewmates. Just leave the bodies. So you guys get dropped off at the. If you guys see that little building, to the top left of the castle, that's at an angle. That is actually the train stop for Urza's castle. You get dropped off there. Do you wish to go to the castle?
Like I said, Eric's going to the castle.
I'll follow Eric.
I'll follow it as well.
Yeah, I will too.
I can fall.
Gomi's just like, I'm along for the ride.
Okay, well, yeah, Eric's gonna fly up, through the main corridors and try to, go, up into Urza's, throne room or whatever. Or meeting room.
I'm honestly just trying to put you guys on the map. It's not working out very. Okay.
Thanks for the read chat, Brian.
You guys are met at the door by Urza's Hello, Urza has been awaiting your arrival. We heard of your success on the battlefield. Do you wish to come inside?
Oh yes, my good chaps. It wasn't the greatest battle, but we succeeded.
Yes, I'm sure Urza will have questions for you. Please come in.
Thank you, my good chaps.
And he leads you guys through the entryway into the main hall and then into the dining hall where you... I apologize, let me unlock your token so you can follow. You see a fully stocked bar, a couple of nobles having conversation over drinks in the corner, and a long dining table. Urza at the head of the table going over some paperwork while picking at some food. Spread out over the table, there is somewhat of a feast. Urza, noticing your arrival upon entry, he looks up from his work and says, "Come, sit down. Come tell me of the battle."
Eric's gonna sort of fly up to him, but also gesture for Rennick to follow him.
Rennick follows.
Do I even have a token on here? I don't see myself.
So does Okami. Because what the hell?
We're way up towards the entrance.
Yeah, no, I put everybody near there, though.
I just zoomed in because I was looking at everything. So yeah.
Oh, fair enough, yeah. Check out my handiwork. Made it myself. Just kidding, it's not that great. But... come, sit down. You guys notice that no matter where you're standing in the room, Urza always sounds clear, even though he doesn't appear to be speaking very loudly. Okami, why are you sitting outside the window? Are you just being a creeper?
I swear I moved myself in the right place. I
And
thought I
why
was
did
sitting on the other
everybody
side of the
awkwardly sit on one side of the table?
See, I put myself on the other side of the table and ended up outside the window. So how weird is that?
Are you still
By the
using your
way-
trackpad?
I'm still unconscious and prone.
Oh no,
Yeah, I'm
you
pretty
shouldn't.
interested.
You shouldn't be. You should have your whatever effects that you got from your psychosis, but you shouldn't have that.
No, I'll take it. Thank you.
I was gonna say just long rest, maybe.
You read my mind. I don't know that that's gonna. No, it didn't remove him. There we go. So, Eric, how did the battle go? Was there minimal casualties?
Yes, it seemed to mostly be the forged ones that took the brunt of the attack. They did show up with some strange battlements that we were not used to. They had wyverns this time, sir.
Yes, my intelligence told me of it. That is why I sent in the reinforcements. It is quite odd, though. It's, not like the tribes of Asengo to fight alongside magical creatures. They usually condemn such practices.
Yes, it was quite strange, but they were taken down fairly easily, and they didn't seem to have reinforcements for them, so it was all handled fairly easily, sir, but the presence of them disturbs me.
It makes me wonder if there's someone else, guiding events.
We did have an incident, so to speak, on our return back here.
On your return? On my train? What sort of incident?
There were men on the roof.
Men on the roof?
Assassins.
Was anybody injured?
I
Thi-
was.
This little one over here was struck down by their poisons, but I believe we have gotten her back.
Barely.
Do you need to see my doctors? We keep a physician here. We have all sorts of laboratories. This is where I conduct most of my experiments.
Aside from
Not-
that, no one was injured other than the assassins themselves, but one did kill the other.
Why would he do such a thing?
It seemed that they had secrets they were trying to keep. We've heard of these rumors going around of this cult.
Yes, that's what we've set you out for.
They seem to definitely be involved with them, so they have made it across our borders. I'm sorry to mention, sir.
I feared just as much. There's always been parties in our country who act somewhat independently. Do you know to what end, what level they've corrupted it?
Unfortunately, we did not. We were not able to disclose much information from him.
What did you get?
We do know that they seem to be communicating across magical means, and that none of the underlings have been in direct contact with their higher ups. There is one man that I would not like to say met, but we had some interaction with him that was mentioned by name.
What's this man's name?
Bane.
Baines. Baines what?
Okay, slightly meta. Do we actually know the rest of his name, or do we just know Baines?
I think we only know Baines.
Yeah, you guys have only gotten Baines.
Okay.
Well, yeah. No, only Baines. I was gonna say Okami may have gotten his full name when she looked into the stone.
I can double check. Give me a sec. They also made reference to the church. I don't know if that has special significance to you in this town.
Church.
No, just the.
Mineria
Baines
has
is
no
all.
official church. I don't wish to be worshipped, and we don't worship anything here. Only science, knowledge, and power. Okay, he said the church was here?
No, he just mentioned there was a drop location called the church, and the way he said it made it sound like the church was significant. So I wasn't sure if maybe you had a location called or referenced as the church in this area.
None that I know of. I don't think any would speak of churches to me. Not even ironically. Perhaps it has significance to the cult. I wonder. Have you found a way to seek out cult members in these towns you've found them in?
We have not, my good sire. We have found their symbol, but things seem to be inconsistent.
Inconsistent. How so?
The symbols do not lead like the normal regiments, shall we say. They seem to be very unorganized.
Unorganized. But you
But
said this Baines was a higher up, did you not?
Yes, but from what we've learned, no one really has had contact with him except through the City of Secrets. Or the City of Rumors, rather.
You believe it to be real?
I was going to ask you the same question, sire.
I've heard of it. I know such realms do exist. Many realms exist outside of our own, in fact. I suppose it's possible. I've never experienced it myself. I have come across information about it in the past. Nothing concrete, all just myth and rumors. Uh, Not something I can find any solid evidence of.
Well, if it does exist, it seems to be that this is where their patriarchy is based.
Would have to be a being of great power to be able to get another god of a separate realm to allow them to use it for space.
It would have
Though I
to be
suppose if they have a great secret,
it would have to be a great being of great power to challenge the gods of all of our realm. Yourself included, sire.
yes. And I fear it's become very serious. What did you guys come to me for? I know you didn't come to fight a battle for me.
I honestly kind of forgot.
We had a rumor
I was
you
gonna
were
say,
from the
that's kinda
secret
everything
library, and we were
else.
hoping you could guide us there.
Okay. There was two people talking at once. One at a time, please. Sir Turtle?
That's everybody else's cue to chime in. I've been trying to.
I was gonna say that I had forgotten we came straight into a battle when we arrived, and was about to ask everyone what we originally came here for.
Oh,
We came here
okay.
because we heard a
Oh.
rumor that you had come from the secret library, and we were hoping you could help guide us because we're trying to gain such precious knowledge, so as to further our endeavors to find out more about the cult.
And why is it you think I've been there?
A book in a library. I like libraries. Libraries are very informative. One of the things I want to do when I'm here is visit the library.
I see. I do have a very good library, if I don't say so myself. Some great works. Nothing compared to the secret library, though. I'm afraid I'm no longer welcomed there.
My compatriots, I'm sorry, sire, have been exposed, obviously, to Merman's secret, and have felt that we may have secrets that could lead us to the city of Sea. Or rather, the city of rumors, with the library of secrets inside.
I'd sworn that I would never show the location of the library. I suppose it's the
Yes.
one oath I haven't broken to the librarian. You see, they
I
would not
will-
approve of those who choose to use the knowledge they have against others.
I have no
They-
wish for you to break your oath, sire. But perhaps you could instruct us on maybe our own route.
I think the library is important, and I think if you truly want to stop the cult from killing all the gods, I'm sorry, but we must ask you to take that step.
I will tell you this. The library exists in the land that's ruled by no god.
Would we
Hidden in
know
a
where
great
it leads
cavern.
to? Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe look at a map. It might even be the sack.
Map.
Yeah, I know where it's at. Took me a second. To process. Well played. Took me a second to process that.
Tracking?
Um, Eric, sensing Urza's urgency to not continue this conversation, is going to directly fly up to him, confusing many people, and shake his hand and thank you, sire. We ask nothing more of you currently.
Can I have access to the library here, though? I did want to study some stuff.
We already
Man,
got that. We're good.
Yes, you may have access to the library on the first floor. Perhaps some other times we will show you the libraries or the labs on the other floors.
I would love to see the labs. It seems like so much knowledge is in the nation. I could spend a lifetime here and still have much more to learn.
You guys, I mentioned it the last time, but anyway, the entire time you've been here, you guys have been hearing weird whistling and odd bangs and booms and thuds coming from various parts of the castle and the surroundings. Nothing can be seen, but you can hear and sometimes even feel these booms. Urza looks at you and after almost on cue, a particularly loud thud goes off and he goes, yes, we are always working on some very interesting things here. Me and my assistants. Perhaps they will be able to aid you guys in the coming battles. I don't think this cult is going to go down so easily.
If no one has anything else planned, and if Urza is open to it, Eric would actually like to follow Urza and talk with him.
Representatives of each country.
I would love a tour of the labs, if just like a random servant, if we're just killing our time in the castle.
Urza asks if you guys have had enough food.
Yes?
I want to ask, what options are there to do in this castle?
Well, right now, Urza is only giving you guys permission to walk around on the first floor.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okami, your rank has not, or your status with the government, I guess, hasn't gone unnoticed. If you get my hint.
Yeah.
Anyway, Urza leads you guys out of the, or actually, yeah, he leads you up to the bar. Would anybody like a drink before we head out to the library? Unless you would like a tour of the kitchen before we head over. He looks jokingly at Okami.
She looks kind of appalled that it's a joke and a bit disappointed we can't go, but she nods her head. No, I'm not thirsty.
Wait, do you want to go to the kitchen before going to the library?
Yeah, you just said nods your head, but then said you're not thirsty.
Right. Well, I mean, this place is so wonderful. I can't imagine what your kitchens look like. I mean, just the same as the rest of ours, or have you invented new gadgets for cooking that we could share with the world, or perhaps just between friendly nations?
We have no need to visit the kitchen currently. Allow my compatriots to explore it later with the cooks.
Sure, there will be time. He lead you guys into the hall and into the library. The library smells of tobacco smoke, um, and you see a noble sitting on the couch comfortably as he is reading a volume. The books seem to be well stocked, primarily with history and old poetry. You see collections from Kiku um, and Verbildion and Ramal and various other places, and some books that you don't recognize the language on. But nothing seems to be like crazy. It's like just mostly history text and poetry.
Did anyone ever get my request earlier about the books about the City of Secrets or the Oldest God?
Oh yes, I will have my servants bring them. And Urza walks over and talks to the maid, and she quickly walks off and heads upstairs. She comes back and she hands you one book on the Book of Secrets. I mean the City of Secrets, City of Rumors. The City of Rumors. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been making that mistake, but I made it canon.
Yeah. It's been messed up so many times. It's either or at this point, depending on what country you're in. You know, it's just dialect changes, but the idea remains the same. That's canon. We're going with that.
What's the book look like?
So, do you look at the book?
Yeah.
It appears to be a child's book depicting a man running away. And you see the very same story that you'd seen before. The words are not exactly the same and the images are slightly different. The names have been changed, but it all is really the same.
Do you guys sense any magic in this?
Okay, before we do that, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. You can do that. But before we do that, is Urza staying with us as we do this, or is he walking away?
No, he's curious. He's talking to you guys. Urza wants to know about what you guys know about this cult. He wants to talk.
Okay, because like I said, Eric wants to chill with Urza and discuss stuff.
Yeah, Urza's just kind of watching over Okami's shoulder as Okami goes through the book. He's kind of available to talk.
Okay, Okami, continue, please. Sorry.
Do you guys
Give me
sense
an
any
Arcana
magic
check.
coming off the book?
Give me an Arcana check or detect magic, I guess.
Detect magic.
The book does not appear to be magical at all. Why is it you think it is magical, child?
I saw another book, very similar, and just as old, in that. But while the main plot stays the same, only the characters are different, and so I wondered if perhaps there was a connection between the series, and it just melds itself at a place.
That is a very interesting theory. You see, the only reason I believe that there's some credence to this city of rumors is, well, one, I believe it to be possible for a plane to be brought here, at least temporarily. They can't exist in the same time or they would explode, but to bridge them for moments is possible. And two, I have heard this story and seen it just like you, told in different ways. This is the only volume I have myself. But oftentimes, when you see the same thing over and over and over in different cultures spontaneously, for no reason, there's some truth to it.
Yes. And I
Perhaps
believe
you guys
there's
should.
a God.
You believe what?
I believe there is a connection to the God of the City of Rumors and the God that's leading this cult. I just have yet to uncover.
I have a suspicion. You see, as you know, I'm not one of the original gods, and there's information that they won't speak to me of. He looks around, and then he ushers you into his office.
I follow.
Eric, do you follow?
Yes.
When I was at the library, I came across texts that referred to time before the gods. The gods never speak of this time. They've written it out of any history that I've been able to find, except for in the library. It wasn't my primary purpose for studying there. I didn't follow it. But now, I wonder.
You're
The library.
saying there was a time before the other gods. I know you came late, sire, but the others. There was a time before them.
They claim to have always ruled, but I don't believe it to be so. I wonder if those twins killed their father involving it. Though I don't know. Maybe they found the knowledge to do so with it.
You referring to my God?
Yes.
Perhaps we need to visit them to talk. Although it'll be much harder to meet them as they are more aloof than you are.
I don't wish for our realm to fall to some unknown, unjust cause. I have fought hard for my country, and to improve it. I won't let it fall. But I'm not privy to some of the information some of the other gods have. Even your gods, they won't have all the information.
Have you been in contact with them, sire? Or
I
any
believe
of
we
the
are on. We all know each other and speak when we need to. We all have various relationships. Why?
Because with this corruption going on, I figured you all might be putting aside some of your differences. Maybe not all of them, but coming together in such a way to make sure that you're okay. As this seems to be troubling for the entire continent.
Yes, I've been talking to Adam Blaze in Verbillion. We're in contact with him. Craig. Well, he's useless and drunk sometimes. Most times. Great in battle, though, I suppose.
Craig is a fool of a god. Powerful, yes, but not to the standing.
Yes, but there's a purpose for every tool, I suppose. I know Nisa is working on it. I lost contact after her. She spoke of some strange events happening in her lands. Involving you? And the twin gods. We speak on occasion. I don't think that they are concerned with it right now. They are too busy quarreling amongst each other. Something about trade wars. I don't know.
As always.
Looking over at Okami. They have times of peace. But if they don't stop their quarreling and focus on what's ahead of them, we may all pay for it.
Well, there's still some questions they need answered, unfortunately.
What questions do you have? Eric, did you wish to talk? We are in a more private setting now.
Eric's gonna wait until Okami's gone for that. Realistically, especially since I gotta leave soon, realistically, Eric's just trying to talk about the Warforged. Like, it's not like super secret, but yeah.
Yeah, Urza does want to show you something that he's been working on with that.
I kind of figured, but also a little character development with us. So yeah, Eric wants to talk about the Warforged. He would prefer to do that privately. Doesn't need to be private to the group, but it is going to be private to the party.
Do you want? How about we do that now, just in case we get caught up and then you don't get a time later before you have to leave?
No, because I'm getting ready to leave. That should be next session. If anything.
Yeah, you only have like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, I'm literally getting ready right now.
Yeah. We can probably... Yeah, we can either do that offline, or we can do that at the beginning of next session.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking we could do that privately and DM whatever, But yeah.
Yeah, because you asked, I definitely want to show you some stuff that Urza is hoping will help you guys when you guys need it.
Toys.
Big toys.
I'm fine with that.
That sounds good.
Okami, you had questions for Urza?
We're trying to discover the source of the black market trading. You see, it's hurting the economy in Kiku, and we can't help the people as we would like.
It's also enslaving people from my homeland.
Yes, so we're struggling because there's
Sent
always
you a
been the black.
whisper.
Sorry, say again?
I sent you a whisper, Eric.
Okay. So I'm gonna say to that. We will discuss that later.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I've talked to them. They seem to be working together on crushing this rogue, Aether Steel, distributor. It seems that there are cultists who work in the refineries they're taking the raw stuff and trying to break it down themselves and selling the lower quality stuff for cheap. We have accidentally come across some shipments, people thinking they were going to save us some money, but that shit doesn't pass quality control. It's all just a waste in the end.
Are
We
they
have to
creating
figure out who.
anything with any symbols or anything?
What was that?
On those shipments? Are they completely blank? No symbols, no seals, no anything? Or is there any way we can follow up on that?
They appeared to have a circle, within a circle, I believe.
Well, then that
Eric
confirms
Paying
it.
attention to anything anymore. He is very studiously looking at the papers that Urza gave him.
Renek, do you look at the papers that Eric's looking at?
Yes.
I'm just gonna whisper it to him.
Can you tell us more about the guardian of the library? Is it a god? A spirit?
They are not gods. They are beings that exist in many realms. In every realm, they seek to acquire knowledge. All of the knowledge.
We are hot chicks.
What?
I said we are not guys. We are hot chicks.
Is it believable
Jeez.
that they would send someone to acquiesce something from another library?
Yes, that is how I found them. I was able to follow one of their operatives. This was very difficult. They fly fast.
Thank you for giving us your time. If at all possible, I'd like to spend some more time in the library. Also,
Yes,
can I
do so at your leisure, and whatever preparations you need for travel, just communicate with me or my staff, and we will arrange the fastest we can get to you.
Thank you, my good
Thank you.
side.
Can I glance at the papers as I'm passing?
Yeah, Urza doesn't seem to be hiding it, but he looks at all of you pointedly and says, "I trust what you see will be kept to your eyes only."
I'm but a collector of knowledge. I just earn to learn.
Your
Eric's
gods
gonna,
have trusted you, and I will trust you in turn.
Eric's gonna kind of look around and see that even the other party members are noticing, and just kind of like tuck it into his chest, like not like a dick move, just kind of like, hey, hey.
Karn, is that what is Karn?
Well, Jacob knows what it is.
Guess I'll find out later.
Magic the Gathering,
Yeah.
Karn.
I thought you meant Karn the Betrayer from 40K. Little different.
This is a bit different. I mean, to be fair, Karn could be Karn.
I was literally just thinking. I was like, no, it can make it work.
Karn could be Karn.
It's amazing what your country is able to do with Aether Steel. I wish that we could improve our relations to the point that we could share more of this technology and you could grow to help other countries.
I wish so too. I try.
Speaking to Urza, or are you speaking to Eric? Like,
Clearly not to Eric, to Urza. And then I'm off to the library.
As you saw on the battlefield, the people of Asengo do not wish for our knowledge. They call it magic, and they toss it aside. Which is why it was so strange they fought alongside creatures like wyverns and... I don't know. We have to look into it. Perhaps this cult is to the north and the south. Maybe I was arrogant to think that they're not here too.
My
I suspect they are here. In fact, I suspect Baines is somewhere in this country.
Ursa, I've seen most of the cult activity we found seems to be following the lines of existing criminal organizations. If you have criminal organizations here, any sort of organized crime, I'm fairly sure that's where we're going to find the cult. Or at least we'll find the cult financing their activities through illicit activities.
Is something I can follow up on.
Eric,
Do you know what signs I should be looking for?
Well,
Perhaps,
Eric's gonna mention they did seem to be running through some of the black traders, like those guys I sent over here about a month ago. They were running with the cult, but they didn't know it.
look for new money. And money in directions where it wouldn't normally move. I imagine the cult is coming in and making direct deals with local organized crime groups. They wouldn't even have to identify them as a cult, just as another potential client with cash in hand. But we would be seeing an influx of cash where there wouldn't normally be an influx, or at least an explained influx.
I see. This makes sense.
So, the
I'll
local
have my
gang leader down at your
investigators look in-
docks. Yeah, if some local thug starts wearing nicer clothes than normal, that may be worth looking into.
I'll talk to my investigators, see if they've noticed anything, and tell them what to keep a lookout for. Have them start scouring through the finance books, see where things are changing.
I also know that we've been looking really at the lower classes when it comes to cult activity, but I wouldn't be surprised if the cult had made efforts at influencing social elites, social and economic elites in various regions. Those who perhaps would benefit from a shift in status quo and who could be bought.
What sort of agents have you exposed? Were they turned recently, or were they long-time followers? How did this happen?
They've either been some pirates and smugglers working directly with the cultists. The cultists that we've encountered and talked to, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not versed enough on the subject to really identify how long somebody's been indoctrinated. They all were fairly ready to die for their cause, though. Only one seemed to hesitate, and his colleague killed him on the spot for that.
This is a fierce loyalty.
It is. I suspect that either there's been a social movement that's been hijacked in order to form the basis for this cult, or perhaps there's a degree of indoctrination or magical influence to help accelerate the development of loyalty, or there's a social void that is being filled by cult involvement.
You've given me a lot to think about. We've felt blind only relying on information from the outside. I feel like having you guys here has given me a much better insight to how this cult may be operating. I feel the library might be your best place. I think you will find more than just information on the City of Rumors. Anybody have anything to add?
No, I'm in the library reading books.
Um, Mine, I think, again, Eric and Urz's discussion should be separate, so we'll probably do that in the coming time before next session.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a couple of things that have just come up as ideas. Oh, Kami, you are seeing the same histories that you've seen before, but you're seeing them told from the view of Mineria. So certain critiques maybe on the behaviors of your gods and people that you had not seen before, you are seeing. Not all of it like horribly surprising, and nothing, slanderous or horrible towards them. Just a different viewpoint of history for you to kind of chew on and maybe enlighten some decisions that you didn't understand in the past.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Do you wish there's been a noble on the shedder this whole time, but I'm sure he can move if anybody needs to use the bathroom. I think it's a good point to end. I think Erica has to go to work, and you guys have to plan some travels and what you want to do or how you want to get there.
Eric is already on its way to work.
Eric is gone already, so yeah. Any questions or anything like that? Out of character now?
Um,
No questions, but I'm just
Do you-
gonna